absolutely a monster, and he's just kind of doing his own thing and still kicking butt while doing it.
Yeah, agreed. I think that explains pretty well of his style and how it still works.
So here we are. The map is Acropolis for this PvT. Starting things off, spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. It is time. Oh, man.
He's playing so well. And in the top left, he's blue. He is Protoss, and he is partying.
The big boy himself.
Yep.
PartinG.
Really popular out on Twitch. Really fun player to watch as well. Very interactive with Twitch chat, which isn't always the case with certain players, but Parting's got a big following because of it, and he's an excellent StarCraft player as well. So.
Oh, it's so impressive. Like, what other players stream as consistently as Parting and then still have as much success? Is there anyone?
I mean, since Polt has been back, he's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, but has he, like, made it to, like, a round of a top 4 in a GSL Super Tournament?
Very true. He has not.
So yeah, talking results-wise, I don't know if there's anyone who streams and has as much success, like, even comparatively in, like, the NA or European scene. I can't really think of anyone that comes to mind.
That's fair.
So, very excited for this match. Parting and Time. I think Time on paper is probably the favorite, but then if we like really consider the matchup, Parting is just an absolute PvT killer. Like, it's his best matchup without a doubt. Sometimes he has a bit of a tough time versus, say, a Zerg. His PvP is pretty darn good too, but like, as far as playing versus like a Terran, he just knows how to dismantle the race perfectly.
And that's something a lot of players would like to know how to do, but... Alright, so Reaper first here from Time. His multitasking is what is most impressive to me about his play style.
Yeah, he's a young player, so he's really quick, eh?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Tons of multitasking, tons of like just micro on the front lines as well. There's been a bunch of times he's been doing a ton of stuff in 3 places at once, and he very easily has another army coming across the map too to really push at the front. And
just rocking
it's pretty
a casual
good stuff.
500 APM for a second there.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely consistent as well. So, anyway, what are we doing here? Going for... Oh, that is definitely Marauder Concussive Shell Rush.
That is
this could be
very cool
really good against Protoss.
Yeah, Parting will scout this, though, interestingly enough. So,
yeah.
How does that really affect things, do you think?
Well, that early Adept basically says, aha. What are we going to do here? Honestly, what doesn't... Okay, so Adepts don't take bonus damage from Marauders.
No, Marauders take a bajillion years to kill an Adept.
Yeah, so like, I think maybe...
It's almost comical seeing a Marauder try and kill an Adept.
Right. And the Adepts aren't killing Marauders super fast either, in fairness.
No, it's basically like they'll just look at each other and hope that one of the others keels over.
Yeah, that sounds about accurate. Anyway, Bunker trying to come up.
Is Parting going to cancel his Bunker? No.
He's
going to get the SCV building it anyway.
That's pretty good. 2 SCVs down this early is a big deal.
It definitely is. And look at this. He doesn't even care that there's Concussive Shell because they're Adepts what he has, which we're just like, yep, I'm just going to do our shade. Parting gets in with his Adepts. Oh, man, this is bad for Time. This is real bad because this is the magic number of Adepts that one-shots SCVs.
There's the slow, and it does actually allow one of the Adepts to go down.
Parting dodges that mine, though. Oh, and then just shading all over the place. This is a mess for Time.
7, 8 SCVs going down here. Holy crap. So another Adept is down
the right Oh, does this Adept just suicide into the mine? Okay, Time doesn't burrow it, which is sick. But then he loses his Reaper, adding insult to injury. And oh my gosh, Parting, he scouted that it's a 3rd command center. He's got Blink on the way. He's going for a proxy Nexus, by the way, just because he's Parting. And, yeah, we'll see. I mean, he could just put some aggression on his opponent, I feel, and it's going to take quite a commitment for Time to defend this, because no tank or anything just yet.
Yeah, and I mean, just so much damage has been done in the early stages of the game without Parting really having to sacrifice much of anything at all. He's totally fine on worker count, and he's totally fine just going for Blink here, as you mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's quite exceptional on the worker count, I say. I mean, he killed off 8 of Times, and Time went for a 3rd CC. So usually Usually, Protoss, it's like kind of acceptable for them to be like 10 workers ahead. PartinG's beyond that. And he's also got just a very quick third base on the way. He's got his tech on the way. Time was sent back a fair bit. So yeah, great opening for PartinG.
Yeah, really hard to find anything to criticize at all, honestly. Time, definitely a little bit sloppy to lose that many SCVs, but he's recovered fairly well here. Here come...
Would you say he's having a bad time?
Haha, no. Anyway, the Blink Stalkers are just hanging out. They do have Blink, Warp Prism coming in here as well. Cyclone's pretty decent in this situation. Tank's also not bad, but you got to worry about getting blinked on top by those Stalkers in both cases. So Stim is almost done here too. Stim's going to be pretty useful in this situation, to staying close to the bunker. Everybody huddling up close to the bunker, because that's going to be the thing that keeps you alive if those Stalkers actually blink on in. But I think PartinG just kind of posturing and trying to keep Time at home here while his third base goes up. Yeah. His sneaky third base is being populated, and the Warp Prism is showing up.
PartinG is going to have +1 in charge just momentarily, though. With a normal Protoss, I'm like, okay, maybe he doesn't go for it, but this is PartinG. Is there the possibility of like an all-in or something like that? Or is it just going to be like Warp Prism Zealot harassment, you think?
It feels just kind of harassy to me.
Yeah, I think,
don't see anything
you're
much
probably
of it.
right. Those gateways still on the way, so... If those were done, I think PartinG would maybe go for it, but he's still just sitting back for now. Off the back of that good opening, he's got 61 workers. Got his hidden third base that he's happily mining away from, so just making good use of that. Looks like he will lose a Stalker, so that's a nice pick off there for Time. Might get a second. Probably not, though, because of Blink. Oh, actually, yeah, gets a second, so bit of sloppy micro there for PartinG. Losing a Stalker he could have saved. Still, though, in a pretty good spot, dare I say.
Yep, third base going down for Time. Doesn't have to worry too much about being stuck on 2, but the charge lot warpins.
Man, this is where it gets real bad for the Terran.
Both Zerg and Terran hate this so much.
Even
just
Protoss
with all their hearts. That's fair.
When it's it happens to them too in PvP sometimes, but look at this, PartinG just nabbing up 7 workers, saving 4 of the Zealots, and completely pulled Time back while he's busy poking on the front as well. So just being a big-time nuisance there to the Terran player. One of the things lacking for PartinG was AoE, but he's going to be remedying that. The fact that he's getting a Templar Archives up, probably going into a Psystorm right away. And then he's just going to be in a pretty darn good spot, I feel. I mean, getting up his quote-unquote third base, which is really his fourth base.
Yes, it is. Location notwithstanding.
Oh, this Prism. PartinG recalls. Does it go down? Oh, that's actually really close. Oh, that was a close one there for PartinG. Good reaction. One more shot, and that would have been a dead Warp Prism.
Yeah, barely managed to sneak out there. That was pretty good stuff. Got an Immortal in the mix here, too. Single Marine comes up to see what we're dealing with, and does get blasted in the face for his trouble.
Not happy with what he sees, that's for sure.
No, but he didn't shirk at his duty. They were like, go up that ramp, and he went right away and died.
He did it, no questions asked. That's what you got to do.
Good job by him. So Widowmine's in the front. Storm's just about done here for PartinG, which is a huge problem for Terran players, especially going for this much bio. And stimming up the ramp with a larger group of Marines and Marauders.
This is a pretty big bluff here from Time. You can't actually go in with that. And those medivacs are actually rather exposed. The PartinG just nabs up 2. Only actually gets one of them, but greatly injures the other. So Time just feeling a little bit of the pressure here, it would seem, as PartinG's just ever poking.
Yeah, he's really making sure that Time doesn't feel comfortable enough to move out with drops of his own, which is a really good way to neutralize a very good multitasking Terran player. But Ghost Academy on the way from Time. I would love to see some EMPs from him. That's always very good against Protoss, and I feel it's often underutilized.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're
EMP?
seeing that change though because of the enhanced shockwave, right?
Yeah, that was it. Yep, they increased the radius.
Oh, it makes EMP so much better.
Yeah.
There's still like the fundamental problem of if the Protoss keeps like a high Templar in the Warp Prism, but of course that forces a lot of the pressure onto the Protoss in order to micro like that. So Terran has now got this just fantastic tool.
And that shockwave is going to be nice. And again, I'm just really super impressed with how Time has been kept in his little corner of the map for this long by PartinG. PartinG is just hemming him in, making sure he doesn't feel comfortable going anywhere. Time just continues to kind of check different areas here. Oh, hang on.
Oh, the
These charge
Cyclone
lots.
comes in, but it does not lock onto the Prism. Instead, it focuses onto some of the Zealots.
oh.
And wait,
Oh
Parting
my
actually
gosh.
sniping the Ghost Academy?
He's gonna
Oh,
snipe
it's
it.
going to be close. The Prism is going to go down, but that Ghost Academy not
got
going to be
it.
saved in time. Oh, and look at this. Parting with a
Goodbye.
Storm Drop and just an attack. He's just going for it after pulling time back. Oh, man, this is why you got to love Parting right now. Time just all of a sudden falling apart. There is no more Psystorm here, and EMP is counterattacking, so Parting's army might not actually stand up versus this. Okay, what a wacky situation here. More High Templar coming on in, though, going to be looking for some Psystorm. I don't know if there's an EMP to hit them. There definitely isn't, so Psystorm going to be thinning out what remains of time here, and I think Parting might have just killed his opponent here.
Yeah,
Oh, the Prism goes down, though.
Workers. I mean, time, yes, he might survive the next couple of minutes here, but yeah, I mean, Parting just sniped off another 11 SCVs. That command center's on fire, needs to be repaired, cannot be landed for some time. A refinery gets sniped down there too, and sure, it's getting rebuilt, but man, that shockwave upgrade also denied. That was just such a great combo attack.
Yeah, the Ghost Academy gone. That's not
Out of
rebuilt for
Parting.
time.
Yeah, so it's not even just
starting
the
now.
upgrade.
And to make things even better for Parting, he's doing what I love to see from Protoss players. It's just one of the best plays that you can make. If you're a Protoss and you've got a little bit of economic freedom, it is always worth it to add in one Colossus. 2 Colossus. It doesn't necessarily have to be your primary army, but just the control, the passive splash that they do is absolutely fantastic. Might not even get to that point, though. Parting's looking to push on in, although Time doing a good job with his bio, holding on for now.
Yeah, pretty decently hanging out here. Again, Time really unable to move out, although he has taken 4 bases, which he's got to be feel pretty good about considering how the game started. But Charge Lot's getting in here before the Planetary Fortress is finished. Mules are getting hacked away. The rest of the army can honestly come in and get something done. Time is not necessarily responding to this. Now he is. He's moving up into position. And there's your first Colossus. Extended Thermal Lance is almost done here too, as well as +3 attack for the Protoss. Ghost production is back on the menu, as well as that upgrade for the Shockwave.
Yeah, 1 or 2 EMPs could be huge here for Time. He's got to be careful. Psystorm going down, but kind of whiffing for Parting here. So Time's really holding on right now, and Supply is actually in the lead army-wise for Time. Sensor tower burns down there. Time might want to replace that. We'll see. Parting loads High Templar into his Warp Prism, knowing that there is indeed the risk of EMP going down on that. EMP is already dropping for Time there. He's actually spending a lot of his energy.
Yeah, and again, just Parting trying to poke, trying to prod, trying to find different places to get stuff done. Liberators are here. No sign of Tempest production at all. Just Colossus back here. The Colossus Storm sniping through. The Liberator is taking some shots and does end up going down there too. Backing up, warping in additional Zealots on the back lines there.
The buffer for Parting disappears and the Stalkers have to retreat. More Zealots coming on in for Time though. The Medivacs have really all gone down. And can Time hold on? He's just got like a handful of injured Marauders. They are enough to make Parting hesitate though.
Yeah, Asbase looks like it's in trouble. Actually, just focusing on supply depots. Trying to supply block Time, which is going to be hard to do. Because Time has about 70 available
yeah,
supply
he's lost
right
a lot
now.
of units, so he's got a lot of supply.
Yeah, it's not going to hurt him as much, I don't think. SCV's pulled off the line, pulling the boys.
Okay, the Vikings
to
going to go
defend
down,
here.
or the Colossus goes down to the Vikings. Still, Time is taking losses here. However, he's still at 50 workers or so, but no, not enough. GG, Parting takes game number 1. And all I can say is this is going to be a fantastic series based off that first game.
That was crazy. Average APM for those players, 359 for Time and 380 for Parting.
They are both so quick.
So fast. And again, I just can't believe that was a 14-minute game where Time never, ever pushed anything, never dropped,
No,
never
he
moved
didn't, did he?
to the halfway
His
point
Reaper
of the
didn't
map.
even make it across the map.
No.
Yeah, I don't even know if he scouted Parting at all. It was just instantly on the back foot.
I mean, he did some comsat or some scanner sweeps for sure, but other than that, no, he never made it across the map. That was just pressure, pressure, pressure. Parting never let up, and Time eventually crumbled. That was incredible. What an impressive showing there from the Protoss. I gotta say, coming into the series, I didn't think Game 1 would go to Parting, but dude's playing well. All right, looks like our players are in the lobby. We're on Ephemeron. It's like Time is ready to go.
Yeah.
Very, very raring and ready to avenge that Game 1 loss. Parting says he's up 2. Let's
Yeah,
do this thing.
that was quite a good opening from Parting and just able to capitalize and keep on pushing.
Yeah, it definitely was.
You can definitely tell he's an aggressive Protoss off that game.
Yeah,
Gas,
it's
gas, gas
no
is
question.
the name of the game.
I wonder if Time's going to go for something a little bit more aggressive to try to counter it, or maybe try to catch Parting out of
I wouldn't
sorts
put it
here.
past him.
He does have
Honestly,
some stuff.
I don't think
up
I've
his sleeve.
actually seen too many of Time's TvPs, though. Yeah, that's still a bit of a mystery for me. Like, I feel like I've primarily seen him play TvT and TvZ. Here we are,
A lot
though.
of TvZ, for sure.
Spawning down the bottom right-hand side of the map. It's player one's Parting.
And in the top left, he's blue. He's hailing from China, and he is Time.
Time, a fantastic Terran player. I'm excited for the GSL Super Tournament qualifiers. I'm excited to see Parting. He has said that he's going to try and qualify in them.
Nice.
So we'll see. We'll see if he's up to it. Beating Time would be a good sign that he's up to the task. Oh, look at this. Taking it a little bit seriously. Checking for a dirty proxy.
Yeah, we saw that in game number 1. Kind of took a roundabout path across the map trying to find any barracks that might exist, but looks like we're okay. Nothing to worry about at this point.
It's all good. Probe gets here, sadly. Just gonna see that barracks finishing. Interestingly enough, wait, right into a reactor here for Time.
Wow.
No Reaper. Probe's being a nuisance. Getting a slight delay on that command center. It does get up, though. The probe will go on home just because of that normal Reaper timing, even though there is no Reaper.
I wonder if he's like, man, that Reaper didn't help me in the last game at all, so maybe I'm just not going to bother with it.
Yeah. Maybe he'll just go for like a quick bunker or something at his natural just to shut down any sort of pokey play like that Parting goes for. Oh, look at this though. It's a nefarious looking probe right there.
I don't know. He just got minerals in his mouth. He's looking all cute. He's getting spied on by this little bot, though.
The -0.
Yeah.
Is that a bug? Or didn't their name used to be like a... Oh, it's an Automaton 2000.
Yeah.
Huh.
There were, yeah, there were some different names for bots on some maps a while ago, but Ephemeron apparently has a -0.
That's interesting. Oh, that's because isn't Ephemeron means we talked about this last night. It came up. Ephemeron means like -0 or something, -0, and so
Is that what it means?
yeah, that's what the bot's name is. -0, -0. Huh. That's kind of cool.
Anyway, not as much pressure here this time. Out of Parting, he's got a couple stalkers back home. He's working on Blink, working on that robotics facility. A bunch of Marines out, but not going to have much use for him.
Oh, this Adapt already tossed its shade out. Gonna be going down. Time microing that cycle and almost taunting Parting there. So that Adept that was scouting, it does go down. Parting now going into a pretty standard opening, and I honestly think this is it's such a good opening for Protoss here. The Blink into Robo. Probably my favorite PvT opening at the moment. As it just allows you to get third base quite safely, and then it naturally progresses into Colossus tech, which is something that is just a fantastic tech for Protoss. Parting, though, getting up that forge for now. We'll see if he... what he's going to follow this up with. Blink, maybe charge right after. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I gotta say, getting charged sooner is better in PvT, so wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened at all.
Yeah, you can go right into a Robo Bay, that is.
Yeah.
And then, or you can go into the charge, and PartinG's going for the charge and the +1. Bunker at the front, nice safety thing for time, which is always great to see. And he's got a whackload of Marines in the main base, so if PartinG tries any blink shenanigans, I don't know if it's going to happen. Seeing as how there's a Raven and a Cyclone too, yeah. PartinG could be in a lot of trouble if he just sort of YOLOs and blinks on up here. That Observer's running on in, that Cyclone. Oh man, PartinG blinks. He doesn't save the Observer. Ooh. If he could get the Raven, that would be a very nice pick off. Time though knows better to micro versus that. All the Stalkers get out, so.
That wasn't bad. Got out, didn't take any Stalker losses anyway.
No, he didn't. That was close. He got like a Marine and a Cyclone for his Observer. Might have wanted to be able to keep that pressure going a little bit longer. That's usually how it goes for the Protoss. You want to bully the Terran as long as possible. So that's not going to happen for PartinG. He's getting up a Warp Prism, though. He's getting up 5 gateways behind this. So playing that very gateway-heavy style. Actually going for 6. He wanted 6. So going up to that 8 gate.
And that charge is creeping ever closer to being finished here.
Here goes in that Observer once again. PartinG looks like he's going to try and nab himself a Marine or 2, just using that range on the Stalkers.
There you go, 3.
Just trying to get any little bit of value he can, and he might even get a Marauder or 2. Look at this. This is what makes PartinG so good. He could even get that Raven. Oh man, he tries for it. Time, got to be careful with that. Immediately though, Time just loads on up into these Medivacs. He's going to be going for a counter drop. We'll see what he's able to get done, though, because PartinG does have up a ton of gateways, and that really is very good for drop defense at this stage in the game. Meanwhile, he's still just poking with these Stalkers. Time left with a lot of his units. He's got Widow Mines, but, I mean, if he burrows, then the Stalkers can just pick him off due to this Observer. So this is actually going really, really sour for Time. The Raven was healed on up.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, the Raven!
The Raven. Oh man, that hurts.
Observer traded for Raven is not a good trade for Time.
Looks like Time, though, coming around is actually going to catch a lot of PartinG's units. The Stalkers, 2 of them escaped, so that definitely hurt for the Protoss player. It's tough to say who came out in the lead there. I mean, PartinG, he shaved off a fair few bio units for 6 Stalkers and 2 Observers. Meanwhile, here's that Zealot harassment for PartinG.
Yeah, taking down 3 SCVs, bruising up a bunch of those guys. To be healed up later by the Medivac, obviously, but now I have to worry about this Warp Prism sitting back here. Well, wouldn't mind trying to deal with that, if at all possible, but a pretty big Stalker Sentry army coming up in the mix too with a couple Immortals, which is always a good idea. Immortal, good unit. All Time's third base starts getting tossed down here too.
Oh, look at this. Blink Stalkers catch.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, they don't actually catch the Medivacs there. That was so close. This is just 2 pylons powering these gateways. I guess there's 3. PartinG blinks forward. Wow, actually just going for it right into this bio. That's going to cost him a little bit there, even if this does get cleaned on up.
Yep, a couple Stalkers go down, but he does save the power to all of his gateways, which is nice.
Well, another drop going in for Time. There's a Widow Mine. PartinG, though, does blink right underneath this. That other mine, or neither of the mines getting their shots off, so a little bit painful there. And then, of course, PartinG with his Warp Prism goes in, and again, there was a Widow Mine to catch it, but still getting some damage done. And while Time's getting his licks in and is making aggressive plays, it really is PartinG who seems to be dictating the pace of this game. And oh man, those Medivacs even getting hunted down there by PartinG. Fortunately, they do escape, though.
Yeah, I mean, PartinG is on 4 bases. He's at about 60 workers. Time has mules, which is nice, but only accounts for so much.
Good, yeah. They only do so much.
Upgrades are continuing for both players at a pace. Upgrading the bio, definitely here for Time. +2 armor for the gateway units is on the way here for PartinG. As we can see there at the Forge, and that Forge looks cool in this skin. I like that a lot.
Oh, it does. Isn't it, what's the name of this skin set?
This is the Purifier skin, I believe.
Okay.
If I'm noticing the like everything's
this
exploding.
This kind of looks like Tal'Darim.
Yeah.
It definitely is some of the Purifier skins that he's got, but maybe he's mixing and matching. PartinG is going for an engagement in the center of the map here versus Time. A bit of a weird choke point, a lot of force fields going down. They're really just shutting down that half of the map. I mean, enough force fields and you can basically prevent your opponent crossing this map. Time, though, just going to go for it. Go for a large drop to counterattack while PartinG is maybe waiting for his opponent to try and cross again. That is not the case. PartinG is like, oh, where's that army gone? He is not sure. Instead, he is going to just continue on with the attack instead of focusing on defense. He's got a cannon, shield batteries, and zealots waiting to intercept this drop. And all these medivacs aren't full, so it's not super threatening here.
Big old drop getting fairly well cleaned up here by charge lots and stalkers too. Widowmines are burrowing themselves in here, but this is a bigger, scarier Brotos army.
This is going
at the
Parting's way.
front. Yeah, we got zealots all over the place. Bam. Parting. Yeah, definitely taking some licks there for sure, but in the end, Parting is able to get that 2-0 lead in this best of 5, which coming back from a 2-0 deficit is hard to do. So we're gonna go ahead and get into game number 3 here on the best of 5. Time again did better in that he was able to leave his corner of the map, but in the end, Parting is able to really be pretty aware of where the drops are happening, shutting those down pretty effectively while keeping pressure on time at the same time, and just getting the charge lots into the mineral lines and all 3 bases at once is so difficult to deal with. And at the end of the day, that is how you get a 2-0 lead against somebody as good as Time is.
All right, next map's going to be Thunderbird here between these two.
It's a bigger map, maybe a little bit harder to be aggressive on.
Get everyone on into the next lobby, then on into the next game. While we are waiting to get on into this next game, it can be worth it for you guys to check out that Matcherino.
Yes, please do. Matcherino, link up top here. Code today is AWB. Allows you to donate $1 US to the prize pool without anything coming out of your pocket. In fact, I might do that right now.
Completely for free. You can support the players. We do have 100 codes to use up for the event, and we do have a ways to go for that. So helping us use those would be greatly appreciated. In the meantime, though, you can also let your friends know that this awesome StarCraft 2 is going on. Parting, Time, Dream, and True. It's a pretty darn good group, dare I say. Here we are.
Those are names that people like to hear.
Those are good names when it comes to StarCraft. Spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map, it's Thunderbird. It's Parting. Oh my gosh. Oh.
And in the bottom right, he's blue, he's Terran, he's Time.
Clearly, I didn't get enough sleep last night.
It happens to the best of us.
First time I've done that one, I think. Gateway on the way here. Barracks on the way. That must mean it is a PVT.
It sure does. So yeah, Thunderbird known for being really big, fairly easy to take third base. Really does tend to go for some of the longer games we see in tournaments these days.
Absolutely.
And,
although it is a parting game, so there is like a set limit that there's a rule that he's not allowed to play a game 10 minutes longer. Or that seems to be the case for the most part, usually. I remember one time I went to go get a parting replay pack when he was just coming back from the game, and I'm like, all right, pay a few bucks for a parting replay pack, cast some of them for YouTube, go to look for a long game to cast for YouTube. None of them are like more than 8 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, this isn't gonna work at all.
No, it's not, because make it an 8 minute long like cast or whatever. That's not the greatest. Anyway, here we are. Reaper coming on in, looking for a scout, but Parting taking it one more step away there, and Time is not going to see that one just yet, at least anyway. Maybe he'll go back and scout for it. For now, though, Stargate is on the way up in a proxy location for Parting. Time also being super safe and scared is actually going for a very quick bunker at his front, which I think is fantastic if you're a Terran player.
Yeah, if you're down 2-0, especially against Parting,
a
bunker is almost
if
a
you
given.
don't build a bunker at the start of the game, you either don't know who Parting is or you're a fool. Good to see a lot of you guys tuning on into this event from all over the place. Lion Machine saying he likes to win by out microing. That's definitely PartinG. If he can win, if he thinks he can win the game with one stalker, he will darn well try.
It's his dream. One day, win a game with a single stalker.
That would be an interesting thing, like having like a pro micro tournament. Like 8 pros. You know that arcade game, do you?
Yeah. Yes. I actually play that sometimes with my subscribers.
Yeah, it's a really fun one, but like seeing someone like PartinG do that would be really cool. To see like just to see how good like a series of pros actually are comparatively in micro. Oracle gets 6 SCVs, then goes down. That actually knocks time down to a pretty critically low number. Since this game was just getting started on and is before the 4-minute mark, that actually really, really hurts.
Yeah, 23 workers is bad. It's really bad.
It's real bad, guys. There's no way to make it good. Oh my gosh, PartinG just nabbing himself off a mule. That's pretty disgusting right there.
Yeah, the Oracle control here is insane. Like, notwithstanding the one that died, but man,
yeah, that was a
stuff
Widowmine.
done.
That happens to everyone though. So PartinG just he does good work with his flying rocks. That's what this skin is. They're basically just like a flying rock.
They are glowy, but a rock nonetheless.
Time moving across the map. Oh, PartinG tempting fate with his Oracle. So you're just nabbing up a Marine. Nabs up the Reaper for good measure. Just insult to injury there. PartinG even making a Phoenix, I suppose, to go back and help with Liberator harassment and whatnot. Looks like it will be a little bit of a poke from the Terran, but this is a very, very bold poke from the Terran. Just like, this is not a large amount of units that Time is moving out with. PartinG moves forward, picks off one Widowmine, beautifully done. Going to be looking to get the second, manages to make that happen. So that removes a lot of the firepower out of this. This is just going very, very sour for Time.
Yeah, he's heading back home, pulling all the way back across the map. PartinG starting to push out now with his composition. And a third base, like I said, generally pretty easy to take, but 5.5, 6 minutes is fairly late for trying to get this thing down.
Yeah, and he's still only at 35 workers, which really hurts. PartinG's Nexus is already up. I think it is probably the best call that Time can go for, like going for that push. That was doomed to fail, since he never really originally intended to go for one of those. So I guess just trying to play it out with your time and then just be maybe extra vigilant in your defense, perhaps, and hope PartinG comes to you. And he is a very aggressive player, so maybe that's one way to try and capitalize on him, just by really, really playing the defensive game.
I mean, gotta try something.
Yeah.
Nothing's working yet, so mixing it up, probably not a bad idea.
Oracles avoid that Widowmine there.
Blink getting started here for PartinG. Loves that upgrade, and honestly, every Protoss should probably get it in every game they ever play. It's just not. There's no reason to skip it. It's like speed for Zerg. Speedlings.
Yeah, no matter...
Even if you're not necessarily going for speedlings, like, just get speed. You'll want it at some point.
Yeah, no matter the matchup or anything like that, Stalkers, like, it can be 15 minutes into the game. You can have only made charge lots up to that point. You're probably going to want to make Stalkers at some point for some reason.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
I remember a game that I played where I scattered a meching Terran. So I just went for Roach Ravager opening, and then it turned into this crazy long game, and I was like, I could use some lings to go harass that fourth, and I made them, and they were slow lings, and I was like, no! It was so sad.
The lamest harassment ever.
It was. I sent him across. It took him like 10 minutes to get there. It was the saddest thing.
Who tries to confuse your opponent?
Yeah. I'm like, what are these units? I don't recognize what these are at all.
Huh.
They're so terrible. They move so slowly. Yeah, I know. And then, I mean, not like speed takes that long to research, but when you're waiting for it, it feels like it's about 5 minutes. Yeah.
It's like, what's that called when you're just, a watch pot never boils, right?
Yeah, that's the one. If you're waiting for it, it slows down time.
Nexus on the way here for PartinG. He's getting up his +1, going into Colossus Tech, getting up a High Templar Archive. So, for normal Protoss, I'd say that this is kind of scary for Dream. As a normal Protoss is just completely content sitting back and just waiting. And then they'll eventually, they'll just build up like a death ball and just kill you if you let them. But that's much later down the road. Someone like PartinG, though, I feel like it's a pretty safe bet that he's going to get like a couple of Colossus, maybe some High Templar and a Warp Prism, then try and kill you.
Kind of looks like the plan.
So we'll see if that is indeed what PartinG does, because he is a player who will attack whenever he sees even just a slight opportunity. He'll try and make it work. So as far as time just sitting back here, I definitely don't mind it.
Nope. Because PartinG's going to come for you at some point, man. He's the boogeyman. 1-1 finishing up for time now on his infantry. 2-1 getting started now for PartinG. But along with Storm just now getting on its way and extended thermal lance. I don't know. Yeah, they're going to get out. They're okay. They got some dead airspace to hide in.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, LaughNgamez, at least take a unit or two with them from the scheme of things there. That's one of the nice things about LaughNgamez, is that as long as it hits something, it's pretty much guaranteed to be at least an equal trade. In PvT, anyways.
Right. Like, exploding on a Zergling is not great in TvZ, but in Protoss, for sure.
Time trying to secure himself a 4th base location on location could be a bit of a bold play, because PartinG is indeed coming in. Look at all those stalkers that he has. That is a ton of stalkers in a beautiful little arc there. Now, is this attack going to work here for the Protoss player? Time throwing up a random eBay, I guess maybe just to try and help block, but I don't know if that one eBay is going to make the difference. The Colossus does get disabled. A massive anti-armor missile going down on the Stalkers there, and with the Colossus out of the equation, there's no Psystorm or anything just yet. There we go. Psystorm did just finish, so Time able to force PartinG back momentarily.
Yeah, that anti-armor missile debuff is going to wear off in just a couple seconds here. The Colossus is still alive. There's some fancy Warp Prism pickup to keep it alive there for one of those shots. It was really nice. But is PartinG going to try to go back in is the question.
Looks like a couple of probes going down into the main base there. Drop going on.
Yeah. Where'd the medevac go? What killed it? Anyway, warping in additional reinforcements at the front. PartinG has 6 probes. Got to do better than that to kill me. For all we've been talking about how Time's worker count was low, he's actually up ahead right now, 73 to 72 for a second there. So Time's been able to macro up. Terran pretty good at that sort of thing. High Templar ready to go. A couple Archons warping in here too, and
yeah,
the Ghosts
PartinG
are in
wants
production
to go.
after Time.
These Archons are going to finish, and that's going to be key to attack. No, Time, I feel like he must have more bio or army somewhere, because this is just a lot of Protoss right now. Time is retreating. His planetary fortress not yet done. He has enough Vikings to take care of the Colossus, but there's Archons here. Looks like some more bio coming in for Time, however. It's just coming in to eat some Psystorms here, and it looks like Time will wear thin before this attack. Ghosts come in. They are a little bit too late. The Psystorm has already landed. Time is going to try and hold on. He's getting some EMPs off on the Archons there. The planetary fortress does hold for the Terran player.
That repair was
repair
really
is
good.
So good. Always repair.
Yes. That's the lesson from this tournament. Always repair.
Always. Just always. If you are a Terran player, you get your repairs in.
Look at Time. Or PartinG's just bypassing that base.
Yeah,
like, fine.
he knows that he doesn't want to try and break on top of it. Going for the 3rd base is a cute call. Time is really getting ready for this fight. Going to be pulling the SCVs. No more EMP, though, on this army. So not going to have that, unfortunately, for him. Advanced Shockwave about to finish. That could be a moot point in this game, though. 13 SCVs have gone down already. If Time can somehow rout PartinG here before he takes too much more damage, he should be in a fine position. The Liberator going to help on it. Time now actually started that engagement, though. Could have been a little bit preemptive. There is so much Protoss here. Retreating to the bunker. Another Liberator coming on in. No more bio coming on in. Can Time hold on?
46 SCVs have been killed.
Yeah.
Not looking good. And there's your GG.
Time still had 40 SCVs as that happened after losing 46.